If I could spend all day in my bed, I would. Big pieces of furniture, high impact details, complementary rather than matching. 2 scatter cushions, a nice throw. Bob's your uncle. I get asked a lot about hallways, and for me it is the spine, the kind of the center of your house, and it's really important to think about it like a room. So I think as soon as you walk in, you want to create this really cozy, light, welcoming space. So I would always say go for a more joyful, bright colour than something dark and gloomy. There's lots of different ways to create an illusion of light in a hallway. One is a mirror on the wall, another one is having gloss on the ceiling. I've got this kind of marble console when you walk in with a mirror above it and with a little lamp, and it's kind of quite nice when I want to create a coziness to my hallway. I'll just put the lamp on and I'll light a candle, and I've got like a little trinket pot with all my, I'd like to say, lovely things arranged. It's just full of, you know, rubbish from the kids. And I try not to have anything on the floor. It'll give the illusion of more space. It's the first space that people walk into when they're coming into your home. So having nice personal pictures on the wall is really lovely. And it also gives you something to smile at just as you're walking out the door. There are lots of different ways that you can add character to your room. I think one really good option is building in. So building in kind of like shelving, building in picture rails, paneling, kind of just putting that character back in there that you think is missing. Once everything is painted, no one will even know the difference to whether it's original or you've just created it. High impact details can add such character to a room. So a really big pendant light, for instance, I mean, this one above me is huge. A chandelier, big pieces of furniture. I think character is usually something with age and has kind of already lived a life, so vintage furniture can really add character to a room. And making a room personal is something that I really love, like layering lots of different aspects from your life. So is it trinkets that you've picked up on your travels? Is it a coffee table book that your friend bought for you that you absolutely love? Is it your favourite flowers on the coffee table? Is it kind of a wall of amazing straw hats that you got when you went to France on holiday with your mates? Is it pictures or prints that you love? Adding and changing hardware in a room is a really inexpensive and fun way to change a room. So going down the kind of vintage route, looking on Etsy, there's amazing hardware on Etsy. Or Matilda Goad has just launched a new hardware line, which is so nice. But literally just taking off the handles and replacing them can give you a whole new room. Styling your bed is sometimes a bit of a bone of contention between my husband and I, because I quite like a scatter cushion and he does not. But if I could spend all day in my bed, I would. So it's about creating a really nice, comfy oasis that you're excited about getting into every night. And there's a few different things that you can do to create that. It doesn't matter about your bed base, if it's old or new or vintage or you've got from the people renting your house beforehand. It's about a good mattress, so invest in a good mattress. And if you have got an okay mattress and you haven't got the money to invest in a new mattress, invest in a mattress topper, because that will give the illusion of a brand new mattress. There are lots of amazing places to buy bed linen from. Glassette have got some amazing options. Piglet in Bed for something more colourful, Fred for something that is kind of more muted and grey all year round, and Flocks who do woolen duvets, woolen pillows and woolen mattress toppers. There are so many choices when it comes to bed linen, and there's definitely something that suits all budgets as well. I think when it comes to the number of scatter pillows, it's absolutely up to you, but I think 2 is a really good balance, 1 on each side if you've got a double bed. I also think if you've got a really neutral bedroom and really neutral bedding, then adding a bit of colour with a throw is perfect. I love the patchwork throws that we've got on Glassette. They just add such vibrancy to kind of a bit of a dull bed. So yeah, 2 scatter cushions, a nice throw. Bob's your uncle. I think when you're planning a room, it's really important to make sure things are complementary rather than matching. Researching and putting everything down when you're thinking about your colour scheme is really important. You don't want to have matching patterns and matching textures, just like you wouldn't want to kind of go out in a full outfit that was all different colour tones of blue. You don't want to be so orchestrated about it. You need it to be organic. And I think that's why I always say don't rush a room, because I think when you are rushing a room and you've got a deadline, it can be quite matchy because you're buying everything from the same shop or in the same week, And actually the evolution of that room will make it yours, will make it personal to you. So I think not rushing things is a really big one. Not having anything that is a matching pattern. So if you've got checked curtains, I wouldn't say maybe go for a matching check throw and a matching check cushion. That just might feel too much. Maybe pulling out some of the colours that are in the check curtain and making a pillow out of that or a throw out of that. If you are going to mix pattern, I would say think about scale. So if you've got a big check on your curtains, go for a smaller check for some of the other textile items, or if you've got a large stripe, go for a smaller stripe. So play around with that proportion so it's not exactly the same in all aspects of the room. When you're thinking about what colour to go for and you're not sure, I think if you sat down and said, right, what colour do I want to choose? It's kind of quite contrived. I think it needs to happen quite organically. So saving references, pulling things out of magazines and kind of creating a colour board, taking pictures of things that you see out in real life, whether that's inspired from a restaurant or a tree that you've seen or a jumper that you really like in a shop. And when you sit down and collect all of these different references together, a pattern will start to emerge. And I think it's going with your gut and your heart and what makes you feel good. So is it the calming kind of mustard, or is it the bright blue that gives you kind of a bit of a leap in your step? It's what are you drawn to and why? And then looking at that colour, say it's a blue, for example, I'm saying that because this is blue and this is blue. It's like, what do you like about that colour and how could you use that colour in the room to get the most out of the space? So thinking about proportion and light, practicality, functionality, and then about where you want to put that colour that's going to make you feel good. If you really assess and break down some of the images that you found with the blue in, how have they used that blue and why? It's not very often that you'll see a blue painted room and the whole room is painted in blue. Maybe they've pulled out the skirting boards or the picture rail or the ceiling and done that in a more neutral white so that the blue doesn't feel completely overwhelming. Maybe the woodwork is really natural, or maybe they've painted it in a tonal blue. So I think it's about, once you've chosen that colour, really looking at how you can use that colour within the room. And then looking at the furniture that you've got or the furniture that you're going to buy and how you're going to complement that colour. But I think it's something that takes a bit of time, it takes a bit of thought and evolution, and it's something not to rush into, because if you are using a strong colour like blue, you definitely don't want to get it wrong. There are lots of amazing accounts and platforms to follow for great use of colour. I love Architectural Digest, T Magazine, Instagram, you can just use your hashtags, Pinterest, Be Art a Human and Luke Edward Hall, and of course Glassette.